Hello, how's everybody doing today? It's Magical Monday, and we have some amazing cards. I just wanted to go over some things today. I noticed the Navy's doing something in the water, which I think I said maybe a month ago. I seen in my dreams the Navy and something was going to happen in the water. And there's a lot of things. Keep an eye on the news. I don't know if the news is completely covering it too much, but I just seen where the Navy was out there doing some things and some things were happening with the Navy. So keep an eye on that because we have a lot of things going on right now. I don't know if you guys have noticed a lot of little banks popping up in your area. It's really weird for this area because we only have our population is like under 7,000. We already have like 5 or 6 banks in our area, and now we have like three popping up. There are three new branches. So, and it was like after the hurricane. This is like a little community. It's like off the beaten path, kind of. We're a half hour from the ocean, and there is a lot of fishing going on in this area and stuff like that. But all of a sudden, after the hurricane, people are coming from New York and New Jersey and Texas, and they're buying up property, and they just like leveled a old restaurant that used to say nice building. They just didn't rent it. People just didn't open the restaurant back up, but they leveled it and they're going to build like a 3 level hotel there. And we already have like 5 or 6 hotels here. Um, it just doesn't make any sense. So keep an eye on your area because I talked to a friend of mine in Pennsylvania and she said the same thing. Little banks are springing up everywhere because they're taking the money out of the system. If you look at your bills, not your change, your bills, you'll see 2009, you'll see 2013, and you'll see 2017, and that's all you'll see because the Federal Reserve stopped printing money in 2017. Anyway, like I said, keep an eye on your area because the money system, if you look at your bills, they haven't printed any money since 2017. They printed money every 4 years and they haven't printed. So they quit printing money and they're going to take the money out of the system. We all know that. So there's a lot of things going on you need to pay attention to. Okay. It's going to get worse. And we have to really be careful with the negative energy because they are coming through with negative energy to uh, detour the light workers. So with us being light workers, we have to be on guard right now and really use our intuition. We had some really good cards that popped out last night. I did I'll call it my midnight meditation instead of my midnight margarita. And I did my midnight meditation and pulled some really good cards. And it did say a lot in the cards. That kind of I knew where it was going because I channeled it before. When you're channeling something and you're in a meditation, you kind of see things that are kind of come out and then the cards come out. I'm getting to the point where now I can almost envision the card that's going to flip out, which is nice. I've been playing games with myself as I do it to see how my intuition and how everything's going as I'm doing it and how I'm getting better at it. The first card that we got was the 18, number 18, which is a 9, and it's thought. And thought it can be really deep because our thoughts can go way out of proportion. There's 2 masks in here as she's reading this book with the light coming out of the book. She's also not only in thought, but she's doing research because she's got some thoughts going on and she needs to find out the truth. How we think, whether we think in a positive, confident, and compassionate manner, or whether we think in a negative, critical, and judgmental manner, will give rise to the same energy in our day-to-day judgmental manner. And it'll bring it day-to-day in our lives. Our thoughts, our energies, in its simplest and purest form, just as all that is matter is also energy. So it does not take belief in a practical concept or ideology for our thoughts to have influence on our day-to-day lives, as well as on the lives of those around us. When the thought card appears, it represents taking a whole approach to your thoughts and accepting their power to shape your reality. Thought, emotion, belief, and perception all work hand in hand with each other. Each is separate from the other, but each also has the power to change one or all four. All four have been shown to govern over our overall energy. We attract to us what we focus on our thoughts and attentions upon. But it is not a simple case of liking, attracting like. With energy, there's always more to it, regardless of whether we believe it in the concept of the universal law or not. These laws will continue to work around us. In simple terms, there are 7 universal laws. They are as followed. Mind. All is of the mind. All is energy. All that exists within your reality is born of what dwells within your mind or the minds of others. We are all born of the universal mind. Correspondence. As above, so below. All that dwells within us dwells externally. What we feel and think within heart and mind, we will see and experience in the world around us and see mirrored in others. Vibration. Nothing is still. All is energy, and all that is energy vibrates. Everything we experience with our sense takes place on a vibrational level. Everything within the universe vibrates to a particular frequency. Like vibration, all attract the same or similar vibrations, while those of a different vibration will repel. Polarity. Everything has its opposite, and those opposites are identical in nature, but different by degree. These opposites are both part of the whole, and without both, there is no whole. Rhythm. Everything ebbs and flows, waxes and wanes, transforms and transmutes. Everything has a season, and every season comes to an end as it flows into the next. Cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason. Whether that reason be known or unknown, for every action, there will be a reaction, whether it be your action or the actions of others. Gender. Everything contains elements of both masculine and feminine. These universal laws influence our lives, and there is never just one law at work in our experiences. They are all working together and weaving every moment in unison, as if our lives were part of some cosmic tapestry. Whether we can conceive of it or not, these universal laws are at the foundation of life and existence. With this in mind, it stands to reason that we should at least be mindful and aware, so that we are the master weavers in control of our own loom and thread. Remember, it matters not how much you want to manifest a particular outcome on a conscious level. If your unconscious mind thinks, feels, and believes something contradictory, if your unconscious mind is full of thoughts of failure, fear, or a belief that you do not deserve the outcome you desire, then your overall energy will be very different to what you think it is. Like an ocean, your surface may reflect a peaceful calm, while the depths below are murky and hide current that can drag you down. And because the thoughts that are locked within the unconscious mind are more deeply rooted within your psyche, your vibration will mirror those unconscious thoughts for good or ill. So you might ask, if an individual has no awareness of what dwells within their unconscious mind unless it manifests in specific patterns of behavior in the present, how can he or she have any power over those unconscious thoughts and the behavior they give rise to? The answer is that rather than focus on what is extremely not in your control, you instead understand that you are a being of unlimited potential and allowing the seeds of a new way of thinking to take root. Unconscious thoughts, for example, can lose their power and ability to drive a negative mindset by the simple acceptance that good and bad go hand in hand. Therefore, instead of taking a dictamonious approach based on the notion that we must not be negative and must be positive, flow through life with the awareness that there will always be positive rewards and negative consequences to every experience, and you must take responsibility for your role. Instead of being optimistic or pessimistic, be be realistic. Embrace a way of thinking that embraces the whole instead of either or. There is a silver lining to every storm cloud. Remember to look for it. There is something good to be learned from every failure. Try to learn it. There is a ferryman to be paid for every success. Be prepared and willing to pay your dues. In these ways, we can take the bad with the good and the good with the bad, and find a center place where both are met with peaceful acceptance instead of the expectation that a particular outcome is the only outcome that will take us to where we need or want to be. Then we can see that just as there is nothing wrong with being positive and optimistic, there is nothing wrong with feeling negative and pessimistic at times. Our vibration is not meant to be static. It changes as we change, ebb and flow, cause effect. Working toward any outcome will offer moments of both. What we experience from one day to the next will offer us both. It is good to understand, too, that every time you set your heart and mind to a particular objective, you are likely to experience both moments of bliss and moments of terror. As your thoughts swing from one to the other, back and forth, be mindful and aware of your thoughts and their influences, and shape your mind into one that works in harmony with the universal laws, and you will begin to see your thoughts in action and how they manifest in your reality. If you have ever changed your mind about something, you will know that doing so can change everything, again, for good or ill. A change in thought can change your life in an instant. The thought card in the present represents a time to really see and appreciate the power of the thought that dwells within you. Yeah, our thoughts can be everything about us. And I think right now there's a lot of thoughts going on. There's a lot of things swirling around, because what we got with thoughts is we got for the King of Ocean, order. The King of Ocean is a symbol of order. So if chaos has ruled recently, know that order and balance will soon be restored. If the boundaries have been crossed, you will be able to reset your territory. And for the reasons he reveals, the end to disputes. At home, you'll soon be getting more organized. And at work, good leadership management reign. As a person, the king is the ideal partner, or the stands for a father or father figure. It's time to get your work, finances, or home in order and take control to protect your assets. You have the power. Yeah, I think we all need to get everything in order in our lives and realize, that without order, it's chaos. I completely agree with that. Now, the next card we got was number 15, which is a 6, and it's abundance. When the abundance card appears, it signifies the rippling outward effect of generosity. Remember to share what you have, even if you only have a little bit. Be generous in giving, even if the only thing you have to give are your care and attention. Give of yourself to others. For instance, you can show your interest in another. If you have a little bit of a windfall, share it with someone else. Seek out a small business or artisan and make their lives more abundant. By sharing your own abundance, give to a charity. If you buy a new coat and have no need for a second, give your old one to someone who might be in need of a little extra warmth. Get into a habit of giving to others, especially when you no longer have need for what you have. Make a habit of cleaning out your cupboard and give away what you don't need. Offer someone in need a helping hand when you see them struggling. Rather than walking on by, sometimes something as simple as a kind gesture can change the day for another. If something wonderful happens to you, pay it forward, and you create abundance in the lives of others as well as your own. This generosity ripples out in a magical way, creating future abundance. The more you give, the more you receive. I completely agree. And it's usually the people that don't really have much they give. I hate to say it, unfortunately. And I have seen some richer people pull something out of their hat, but it's not too often. It's a big club and you ain't in it. We also got the King of Pentacles with that one, and it's loyalty. Oh, that's the Knight. Oh, the Knight of Pentacles, sorry. Hard graft may not be exciting, but the results will bring you great fulfillment. Order, planning, trust, work, investment, progress. The Knight is not dashing. He's slow and steady, planning his moves with care. He may not be charming, but he is loyal and trustworthy. So any offer he makes can be taken seriously. He often appears in readings to show business, investment, and projects that have good future potential in property. He is associated with choosing the perfect home. This is the right time to make a serious decision about your long term. Yeah, I think we all need to look into the long term and how we want to, live our life and what we want to do and uh, set our roots down. This, I love this card because she is so pure. And this is a 9. That's 2 9s. That was interesting. We got a 9 and a 9. Yeah. This is the 9 of Earth, and it's important. How important are material possessions? We just kind of went through that. There's a lot of truth to the old adage that charity begins at home. Yet so many people are willing to give to their families or a complete stranger a level of care and attention that they are unwilling to give to themselves. I really feel that. I give and give and give and give, and sometimes I forget about myself. And you shouldn't do that. And I know I'm guilty of it. I guess that's what a light worker does. We turn the light on for everybody else and walk around in the darkness. Uh, the 9 of Earth asks, do you speak kindly of yourself, or are you constantly criticizing what you perceive to be your flaws and weaknesses? Will you generously knit another person a sweater while you stand there shivering because you have not taken the time to knit one for yourself? Do you have a habit of giving your time to everyone else and leaving none for yourself? Remember, if you do not look after yourself and treat yourself with the same compassion and consideration that you afford others, this neglect may very well take a physical toll. And how will you be able to look after others if your health has failed? If you are feeling under the weather, take the time to reset and heal. Addressing your health concerns, even the minor ones. The 9 of Earth symbolizes a need to be charitable and kind to yourself so that you can in turn be kind and charitable to others. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's got the butterfly here and she's offering something, and she's just pure in nature. That's a beautiful card. And the card we got with her, which was interesting, is the 5 of Pentacles. It's abandonment. You do have support, but you may be looking in all the wrong places or to the wrong people. Go beyond your usual networks and you'll find the help and comfort you need. I really think that's right. I think that we go through life thinking that all these people around us are our bestest friends and they'll do just anything to us and they're our tribe. And then when you get into a tight spot or something happens and you need somebody to talk to, there's nobody around because they really weren't your besties and they weren't your friendsies and they were just there. They were background people and you just didn't realize it. The last card that flew out and I kept it was Regeneration, the World, 21, which is a 3. The world shows that your life is regenerated and renewed as you finally find the success you seek and celebrate your achievement. You may receive a particular reward for your efforts. The card also shows the completion of a phase, such as meeting a target or goal or finalizing a house, move, or other major projects. The world often comes up in a reading to signify relationship landmarks such as a wedding anniversary or renewed vows. There are opportunities to travel now, and if you are single, have romantic adventures. Celebrate what you have and achieve and embrace new opportunities. You will be full of energy and motivation. The world is your oyster. Yeah. World card is a great way to end that part of the reading because we just have to align ourselves. We have to remember ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves and we have to help people. That's our main goal in this world. Now we have the practical magic. We got beautiful cards. This card flew out twice because of course I put it back because I just started to shuffle and it flew out. So I put it back thinking, well, I'm not ready yet. And I started shuffling like a crazy nut and it flew out again. So you know what? We're keeping it. It's a 7. It's physical strength. It's protector. And we need her. Look at her. She's got the buck. She's got the snake on her as her staff. She's got an arrow with energy coming out. In other words, she was protecting that deer and got the snake. The snake is dead. It looks like it's dead. And she's got the crescent moon on the third eye. She's just full of energy. That's a beautiful card. Your body is your temple. Yeah, care for it. I think it's trying to tell us, which it's probably telling me too, because I'm not taking care of myself like I should. I'm taking care of everybody but me. And it's telling you to, hey, over here, need to look at yourself and take care of yourself because nobody's going to be there for you when you drop, and because you've been taking care of everybody but yourself. Respect it and nurture it out of love, not punishment, and become the best version of you. Good health and well-being are the most precious possessions of all. Yet, for so many, they are the lowest priority and the first thing sacrificed with life when life gets busy. Adding some movement to your day will give you more energy, lower your risk of illness and disease, improve sleep, help you live longer, and improve your quality of life. Being strong physically also makes you stronger emotionally and mentally. So it's easier to deal with stress, anxiety, and depression. Stretching your physical limits, challenging your mind as well as your body, and enhancing your willpower, motivation, discipline, and determination, which will carry over into all aspects of your life. You will learn a lot about yourself and realize you are far stronger, braver, and more capable than you ever imagined possible. When this card comes to you, it's a message to prioritize your health and well-being, to nourish your body with good nutrition and strength, strengthen it with movement. This is not about exercise because you hate your body, but because you love it. Being active is a reward, not a punishment. It's a way to honor and care for your physical self out of respect for the hard work it does for you. There is nothing more important or more sacred than looking after yourself emotionally and physically. Physical activity can and should be part of your spiritual practice. It quiets the busyness of your brain and fosters connection between your mind, body, and heart. Whichever way you choose to move your body, it will help you focus, clear and stress of the day, and flood with feeling good endorphins. Getting stronger physically will help you feel more empowered emotionally, and committed to fitness goals will assist you in achieving your work goals and vice versa. It's also a wonderful way to give yourself some precious time alone, time that you deserve to take. It's not selfish to practice self-care, for how can you look after others and reach your full potential without prioritizing your own health? Moving your body is not about looking a certain way or reaching a certain number. It's about living longer and being able to enjoy your best possible life. And your health and well-being become even more falls, less physical and mental deterioration are able to remain independent for longer. If you haven't been physically active for a while, be patient and take it gradually. Don't push yourself too far, too fast. You will slowly get stronger, healthier, and fitter day by day, week by week. But it's not a competition. Just start where you are and do what you're able to do with what you have now. Aim to be the best you have that you can be. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing or compare yourself to others. Do what you can within the physical limitations you're dealing with. Some people can run marathons while others may get the same sense of achievement from being able to walk up and down their hallway or jogging around the block. Don't overcomplicate it or put too much pressure on yourself. All you have to do is add a little movement every day, and whatever form of exercise you choose, you don't have to be good at it. This is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. It's about learning, growing, getting healthier, challenging yourself, trying something new, and working to achieve a goal in exercise and in life. That is a good card. That's a very good card because stretching is very good for anybody. And just that extra movement, maybe, like turning some music up, maybe doing a little dancing, a little moving, a little something. Sure. I think it's good for all of us. And the next card we got is Face Your Fear, Passion, and Power. And boy, is this a pretty card. Look at that. She's got her lion. She's got her golden sword. She's got the moon behind her, roses around her, and she is beautiful. Find the courage to take a risk, to do the things you're dreading, and watch your life and all its possibilities open so you can soar. Everyone is sacred. Oh, no. Everyone is scared of something, and a little bit of fear is normal. In fact, it can sometimes serve a purpose. Fear can drive you to protect yourself, inspire caution in dangerous situations, and encourage you to act in ways that are healthier. But it can also make you overly weary and stop you from pursuing your dreams, leaving you filled with regret when you say no to opportunities that you'd love to embrace but are too scared to try. Your fear may have served you at some point, but keeping you safe and protected. But when you draw this card, it's a reminder that fear can also hold you back from reaching your full potential. It's why you turn down chances you long to take, choose the easy path over the more challenging one, and allow yourself to shrink your possibilities and your life, making you smaller than you could be. When this card turns up, it's asking you that you are avoiding and why, asking you what you are avoiding and why. And it's challenging you to face this fear and conquer it and transform your life. I can't wait to get my hair. I'm getting my hair cut real soon. I can't. It just tickles my face. It's all over the place. I've got Florida frizz and I need a haircut. Okay. I got hair aggravation today. Courage isn't just about overcoming an external fear. It's speaking in public, getting into a lift, or dealing with a spider. It's also about being strong enough to be vulnerable and showing someone your heart, to have the hard conversation and tell someone what you need from them or what behavior of theirs you can no longer accept. It's being brave enough to admit your mistakes, apologize and make amends, and to speak out against injustice. Even if those around you are dismissive, courage means going out on a limb when an issue is important to you and accepting that you may lose a friend or upset a relative if you are true to yourself, but doing it anyway. It's walking away from a situation that is harmful to you, setting boundaries on your time, and standing up to peer pressure regardless of the cost. It's having the guts to pursue what you most want, no matter how long it takes or how hard you know it will be, and the strength to cut your losses and begin again when something no longer has meaning for you. In pursuing the life you dream of, there will be times when you're halted by what frightens you, whether that be a new situation, challenged person, challenged person, or a new level of discomfort. Know that you have the strength to triumph over the fear. And once you master this, once you have all more confidence, the next time you encounter something scary, don't let your fear hold you back from being all that you are capable of. You have it within you to conquer this challenge. So step up, dare greatly, and embrace all that you deserve. That was a great message. I love that. Yeah, we have to be careful with the fears. Fear can stop us. We all have fears. None of us are above a fear. So the next card that I got were the angels and ancestors. And we got some really nice messages with this one. Interesting messages. We got the High Priestess, harness mystic powers. Align with the light and focus on all things positive. The High Priestess is the physical embodiment of the divine feminine, the teacher in human form. She has had many names through time and space, but her essence has remained similar: fierce, powerful, and disciplined. In many traditions, particularly pre-Christian, the high priestess was in charge of the spiritual and religious orders and was the voice of authority and guidance from the teachers. The high priestess in this deck is the consort and partner of the high priest. If you look at them together, you will see they mirror each other's energy. Inspired by the Egyptian teacher Isis, she holds a citrum, a musical instrument, in her left hand, and an ankh, the Egyptian symbol of eternal life, in her right hand. She is joined by a black cat representing the Egyptian teacher Bast, who protects her from lower energies, and she stands strong in her glory and power. You are a mystic with the capacity to connect with the energies that go beyond the human senses. Within you is a force of magic that is directed by your will. There is an opportunity for you to rise up at this time, but it requires dedication and discipline. You are being guided to look at what you are working on or at the situation before you and determine where your priorities lie. If you are unable to figure that out, you must use your intuition and discernment to focus on what will bring you closer to your goal and the happiness of everyone involved. When this card arrives, it's also important for you to check in with your intuition, as it will give you guidance that will be important for your growth. Yeah, I think we all need to listen to our intuition and pay more attention to it, because sometimes we kind of ignore that. And what's interesting, we got the snake, and the snake is shed old skin. Cast off the old, reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. In many spiritual traditions, the snake offers powerful medicine. In Tantric yoga, it symbolizes the Kundalini, which is the powerful serpentine energy within that allows you to reach your highest spiritual potential. When the sacred ones saw a snake in nature or encountered one in a dream, they knew that there was a transformation in the air. For me, the snake card not only represents the shedding of the old skin, but moving beyond the limitations caused by carrying the venom of negative thoughts about others in our past. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized or you've been misread by others, know this energy is now leaving you. As you've been working through your old stories and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've accumulated along the way, you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all of the work that you've been doing within. If you feel someone you love has misunderstood you recently, they will be able to see beyond that if you're willing to recognize your own challenges. This is a time for renewal, abundance, and connection. Let yourself be reborn and celebrate. That, I like that card. That was really good. We should celebrate and we should be reborn. We should be working on ourselves right now. What's interesting is we got this card, and this is the wise one. Grow within your current situation. Look at that. She's got her raven. She's got her owl. I like how they have the crescent moon over the owl's head. She's got her feathers in her hair. Knuckle down. Be reliable and committed. Be open to wisdom and insight from your elders. The wise one represents the wisest aspect of the teacher, the crone. Ooh. In paganism and modern Wicca, the crone is the fiercest, most psychic, and most aware aspect of the teacher because she has been through many of life's challenges and overcome many setbacks. On this card, the raven in her hands represents the capacity to overcome the darker times and be reborn again and again. So she helps you to tap into wisdom to overcome whatever life throws to you. Wisdom being the information stored in your soul rather than the knowledge acquired in this lifetime, and to learn from the experience of your elders. The wisdom of the wise one is based on something that the younger generation is often lacking: commitment and reliability. When this card appears, you are being guided to continue working on your growth and expansion within your current situation. Be committed to your tasks and projects. It can be very easy to get bored or overwhelmed, but perseverance. You are being reminded of how it feels to be let down and experience unreliability. And that is not who you were born to be. So keep working on what you're working on because it's going to be extremely beneficial for you in the long run. I like that. I think that's a great message for us to keep working on it. Don't let, setbacks and stuff stop you from pursuing the things you are. And the really interesting card that popped out was the Air Guardian. Shift your perception. Change the way you think and you will change your whole reality. And that is true. What we think about most is what we manifest. The air guardian represents the angels of the air element. Traditionally, air is all about thoughts. And you know what? We got the thought, the thinking woman earlier, and that's interesting. Air is all about thoughts, thinking, and everything that happens in the mind. So these angels can help you to overcome any thoughts that have come back to haunt you from the past and to see the world more clearly. They are guiding you to change the way you think about certain situations, as this could be standing between you and greatness. When this card arises, it's an opportunity to learn about your way of thinking. You are being guided to recognize that not all you see is exactly the way you see it. Sometimes the mind can play games, and sometimes our perception can be wrong. If you are being challenged or feel that there's a lack of clarity and direction in your life at the moment, there's a good chance that the way you're thinking or what you're focusing on has a lot to do with the reality. With that reality, you are being guided to open your eyes and your mind, go beyond any limits you have set for yourself, and recognize that the way you see the world is how you will experience the world. Opportunities are moving in your direction, but they will only open up for you if you are ready to do the internal work to support them. That is a great message. I liked that message because, yeah, our thoughts have everything to do with what we're doing in life. Our thoughts can hinder us. They can also help us, but they can also hinder us. Now, the Soul Helper Oracle, we got a beautiful card, and it's a 38, which is an 11. And it's a light-filled angel is at your side. It watches over you at every dark doorway. The path of your soul is a path full of light, but here in the world, the danger of being led astray by darkness lurks everywhere. You have drawn this as a card of protection. Place it somewhere visible over the course of the next few days. It represents a warning. Be aware of the actions you take. Stay centered, and ideally, do not go out. Avoid conversation where they are not necessary. Try to postpone as much as possible until next week. Do not let anger or other low energies influence your decisions. You would regret it bitterly and perhaps even lose something to great value. Do not make any decisions this week. Be brave, clever, and smart. Trust your feelings more than your intellect. Put your trust in the angel at your side. Be sensitive to the balance of emotions in your heart. Acknowledge your lies and let them go. Your power animal for the next 21 days is the panther. The herbal essence is the rose. The healing crystal is the tiger eye. And the master number is 11. It's interesting that the last card we got in that was a master number. That's a good sign. This has been a good reading. I know that there's a lot of heaviness going on because I can feel it. I can feel it in my everyday movement. The digits of the double number or the master number, 11, 22, 33, etc., are not usually added together, but instead are regarded as having twice the power of a particular number. Give yourself the time to allow the number of the card to resonate through your light body. Visualize it in front of your heart and let it circle around your body. Don't try to control this, but instead simply observe where the number wants to go. Its position may bring important information. Yeah, the double digits are very powerful numbers, and they're good numbers to get. It makes you want to pay more attention when you get the double digits. Pay more attention to that card. Okay, now we got one card with the Gateway of Light activation, and I think this was one of the second cards I think I pulled out of this deck when I got it. It's the Arcturian Light Codes. Evolutionary downloads, recalling power and future thinking. Arcturus is a giant red star that is among the brightest stars seen from the northern hemisphere. It is around 25 times larger than our sun and can be found just beyond the Big Dipper. Many believe that there are light beings living on a blue planet orbiting Arcturus who are in the fifth or an even higher dimension. Some think they could be a prototype for what is possible on planet Earth. They are described as blue beings. For when they appear to those who can see them clairvoyantly, they are often blue-skinned or emanate blue light in their aura field. The Arcturian race are here to help those on Earth who feel called to facilitate healing and to move beyond draconian and ways of being. They guide us to realize that we have a great opportunity to evolve beyond these limited states. And if we don't, we'll be stuck on a karmic wheel for thousands of years before we get our next opportunity. If you feel called to the Arcturians or this information, it could indicate a past or future incarnation on the Arcturian planet, or that you have Arcturian guides working with you. You can evolve into a greater state of being now. This begins with how you approach even the most mundane of tasks in your own little universe. Show up in ways that you've never showed up before. Instead of checking out of this planet, it's time to check in. Instead of feeling that life is happening to you, realize that you have a huge part to play. Recall your power. Realize that you are part of the evolution of humanity. And it's time to become the leader you were born to be. It doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or a large group. The key is to create more loving ways of doing things. Honor the ideas or thoughts that you have been having recently. If you have been hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, or sensing that you are being visited by beings in your sleep, know that you are receiving downloads from heaven. Arcturians are with you now. Yeah, we have been seeing downloads and flashes of light and all kinds of stuff. And it is happening. And what I'm supposed to say, I did channel some information last night and I did write it down. I'm supposed to ask, where is your energy going? What are you spending the most time and giving all your energy to? And reevaluate it. I think we need to reevaluate what we're doing in our life and putting all of our energy and our time. You know, right now we are going through kind of a revival. We've been through past revivals, and I remember the revivals. You look back on them like the Woodstock era, the Vietnam era, the war, and then the revivals, and everybody protesting with their signs, and everybody wanted to change the world. But what I'm finding and I'm thinking about right now is when I observe it and marinate on it, these people had signs and they were trying to change the world. But you know what? Did they try to change themselves? Because even though I have a sign and I want to change the planet and I want to go green, am I doing the same thing? Because, okay, I'm going green or whatever I'm doing. Let's say I'm going to go green, but I'm driving there in a car that uses gas. And this is what they're fighting for. So I don't agree with how they're fighting for because they're not changing. Could you imagine? And I've said this yesterday, if all of us worked on ourselves and changed ourselves, we wouldn't have to hold the sign because we wouldn't have to be out there trying to change somebody else. If each one of us would do that, we could change everybody in the whole planet. So we need to think about that perception of it. Yeah, Woodstock was great. They had a concert. Don't take the brown acid, you'll have a bad trip. Yeah, sure. The music was amazing. The Vietnam War was probably ridiculous, and a lot of people died. And whatever they did, the government at a war all the time. If we worked on ourselves and didn't get involved in that and stayed in our own lane, we wouldn't have had that. We could, right now, is what we're trying to do is fix this future before we go into what that was like back in the 60s and 70s, the late 60s and early 70s. They tried the revival thing. They did it wrong. We need to get it right this time. We don't go to a rock concert, don't take the brown acid, hand up a sign and try to change the world. We need to work on ourselves. Let's start with us. I think that's the 100% what we should have did last time. Now, we got the last one is the Divine Master Oracle. And this is a pretty crazy card. We got Kalama, Divine Severance, cut the cords to dramas, fears, and limitations. Look at her. Kalama is the Hindu teacher of death and rebirth. She is the destroyer of evil forces and protector of liberation. We were just talking about liberation. In the Hindu pantheon, she is the most powerful expression of Shakti, who is ultimately an expression of life force energy in a dynamic feminine form. In Sanskrit, Kala means darkness and Ma means to bring or create. So Kali Ma is the bringer of darkness. Darkness isn't to be feared, however. Over the years, especially in Western culture, we've been told that it is bad, but in fact, it's a sacred part of life. Before we were born, we were all wrapped in the darkness of the womb. The earth herself was born in the darkness of the cosmic sky. And every night when we sleep, we step back in this space. So the great teacher, Kali, brings the energy of creation, birth, and renewal. Interesting. And there was a flash. Stop right there. Don't let dramas or other disruptive energies get between you and the light you were born to be. Before a molehill becomes a mountain, release yourself from a situation that is only going to drain you and bring you pain. Today, the universe, through the great teacher Kali, is encouraging you to cut the cords between you and unnecessary people, places, and situations. Do it now. Your soul desires freedom and liberation. In your current circumstances, you are holding the wheel of karma in your own hand, and you get to decide if a situation takes over your energy or not. Don't let yourself be pulled into something that is not yours to deal with or carry. Take your karma and your future back into your own hands. If you are afraid, good. That means you're on the cusp of something great unfolding. I like that. I like the way that card put it, and I think that's a great idea. The next card that we got was Hilarion, Divine Emergence. Be seen, let the world know your gifts. Hilarion, also known as the Great Saint Hilarion was a master healer in the Temple of Atlantis and also had incarnations in ancient Egypt. In his last incarnation, he was born a pagan parent in Syria in the 4th century AD. He studied in Alexandria, Egypt, where he converted to Christianity, and it is said that from that moment he decided his life to spiritual pursuit. At the tender age of 15, after hearing about the miracles of Saint Anthony, he went off to his desert desert hermitage for 2 months. He craved personal space, but the hermitage was busy, so he decided to go back home. But after his parents had passed, he gave up all his worldly possessions and retreated to a cave in the wilderness. Hilarion spent the majority of his life away from humanity because he was a highly sensitive being who picked up the energies of those he came close to. It is said that those who came to his cave experienced miracles, including barren women becoming pregnant, and people overcoming mental and other health challenges. Now Hilarion's soul helps light workers embrace their gifts and emerge from the cave of sensitivity. It's time to come out of hiding and be seen. Energetically, you have taken some time to retreat and recharge, which has been highly beneficial for your mental and emotional well-being. But now it's time to emerge. Don't get too comfy or fall into old ways of being because the old you want to hide or old fears of perception or judgment make you feel that you need to. You weren't born to suffer in this lifetime. You were born to surmount challenges and embrace and share your gifts. If you have been holding back or hiding a part of yourself in order to fit in or conform, you are being encouraged to break the pattern and be seen in all of your glory. You are a powerful teacher and healer with the ability to break outworn family cycles and help others radiate their brightest light. Your personal journey shows others that it is possible for them, but to do this, it has to be shared. Let all your gifts be shared. Yeah, I completely agree. If I wouldn't have came out, I wouldn't be here. And right now, I'm supposed to share my gifts with everybody. Right now, I'm supposed to give a message to everybody. What message, we don't know until we channel it and we get it. But I think it's so far, that was a beautiful message. And everything always has reasons. All messages have reasons. So, with that said, I love everybody. And I'm hoping to be back tomorrow. We'll see how my day goes. And may every step in your journey be magical. And you know what? Just be you.